or sort of 4 central midfielders in there as a box, and it worked. It nullified Liverpool. We're just still lacking that cutting edge.
Yeah, and that's a great word, cutting edge up top, Max. You know, that chance to finish. Mudryk had a chance. He looked good. One or two other players. There were moments in this game, moments that never really kind of developed the way that you would have wanted. Look, credit to Ziyech. Best performance, I think, in a long time. Cucurella, no question, best performance in a blue shirt. So Jorginho was excellent. Silva at the back. Badiashile. I like what I've seen from Mudryk. Look, this is okay. It's been all right. Love 3 points. Never a bad point coming away from Anfield.
Jason Cundy, thank you very much for your insight, for your company as well this afternoon. It finishes at Anfield in a goalless draw. Let's head back to Joe, Pat and Kwaku to get the best of the reaction.
Thank you very much, boys. Max and Jason talking us through proceedings at Anfield. Yeah, goalless it finished, but an entertaining goalless game, Pat. Oh, my word. Catch your breath and let's go.
Well, I'm smiling. At the end of it, I am absolutely smiling. I think most Chelsea fans, look, we don't like it when we don't get 3 points, and especially as Jason says, you know, maybe a fair result. I think we were the better side. I actually think if you're a Liverpool fan, you're walking away for that thinking, we got away with one there, especially in the second half. Get those balls put to the back post with Ziyech, etc. But you're just seeing things coming together. The jigsaw pieces were everywhere, and you're just seeing them. They're just coming together, and you can. I felt brilliant after Mudryk. That's all. Left side. Sorry, we're all right for the next 5, 6, 7 years. Yeah. We're okay.
7.5.
It's honestly, and it's not just the fact that, look, he missed a couple of chances. He gets into those positions. His work rate's fantastic. Yes, he's got that speed, which I hadn't. We chatted about this before. I hadn't really spotted that about his pace as much when I'd watched him. I thought his technique was brilliant. He's got both, and there's not that many have got that level at both. He is fabulous, and we are going to love watching him.
It's very exciting, and I'm doing the thing that I promised myself I wouldn't do as a fan. I don't want to compare him to players before, but I've never seen an Eden Hazard-like dribble like he had there when he fired into the side net, and he was almost Hazard-esque in the way, the weight of balance, the shift of left to right, the speed and the electricity to kind of remain calm in the chaos around him. But yeah, fantastic debut. Only half an hour, 35 minutes in a Chelsea shirt, but already we've got a player on our hands.
Very, very exciting. He's a player, he did what he expected him to do. He came on the 55th minute, and the fact that he came on so early in the second half is an indication that Graham Potter probably would have started him if he had a few more days on the training ground, but he was electric when he came on, and Jason talked about it there. He said that we had moments, and players like Mudryk and when João Felix comes back into the side, they will create more moments. It's about taking our opportunities, because we had some chances in the second half to put Liverpool away, and granted they had some chances as well, but we were the better team, and football is a game of moments and you have to capitalise on those, and Chelsea were not at that point yet, hence our league position. But with those players coming in, and Badiashile, word on him, he was absolutely incredible, and he brings a sense of calm. Said it before the game, learning off Thiago Silva. So like Pat said, there are pieces of the puzzle all over the place, but they are slowly coming together, and I'm excited for the future at Chelsea.
3 weeks today, Pat, we'll be playing West Ham in an early kick-off, London derby. It's always a test when you play West Ham. But then João Felix will be back from suspension. Mikhailo Mudryk would have been at the club a month. Yeah. Noni Madueke would have been at the club for 3 weeks. Who else knows will be back by then? Reece might be fit, Chile might be fit. All of a sudden, things look very different. And I know that we are talking about progression and waiting, but in a month's time, you could be looking at a first-choice Chelsea 11, which is frightening.
Unrecognisable from what it is just now. Let's not get carried away with the Champions League.
Don't do it to me, don't do it to me.
However, you know, we'll walk into that next Champions League game now feeling a million times better than we would have been 3, 4, 5 weeks ago. So that's a great thing as well. We're in a position, I think, we're not looking down in the league, we're looking up. And that's a kind of good place to be sometimes. You know, we spent our whole time for 20 odd years being up the top and all that pressure. There's a great feeling of when you're, you know, okay, that's what we're aiming for. We keep on winning every week, make sure we don't lose every week. We can go and, you know, pick one off at a time. It's a great, great thing to do. I think we've got a team that can do that between now and the end of the season. Just see how far we can get. Like everyone else, look, we've got a draw away against Liverpool, and people say a 0-0 draw. It's not like that. We can. The plan's there. A lot of people said to me before about, oh, can you see the plan at Chelsea? And I said to you before when we walked in today, I can see this. I can really see this. I think after today, you can see it, can't you?
Absolutely right. And you mentioned that 0-0. We played Liverpool 4 times, did you say, last season? Again, I think we've drawn the last 5 in a row against them. But that 0-0 at the Carabao Cup final, one of the best games of football I've ever seen. That's not a 0-0 game, Quaker. No, Defensively, Chelsea were exceptional today. You've mentioned Benoit Badiashile, fantastic again. But that partnership that he and Thiago Silva are implementing together. Cucurella left back and Chalobah right back. Again, 2 players that haven't played a huge amount in a back 4 in those positions for Chelsea this season. But again, all 4 of them, standout performers, fantastic, and a great clean sheet to come away from Anfield with.
100%, and Kepa did what he had to do when asked. And we were waxing lyrical about Thiago Silva and how great he is for Chelsea, and we're lucky to have him. I think we need to appreciate how good he is and how good he makes everybody else. And when Azpilicueta came off the bench and made 500 appearance, which is incredible, one of my favourite ever Chelsea players, there was a moment where the ball came in, it was a dangerous ball, we just chested it back to Kepa, and that sense of calm was brilliant to see. And like I say, it was a 0-0 game, but there was opportunities there for Chelsea to go and win it. So it didn't feel like a 0-0. We're leaving this game smiling, happy as Chelsea fans. We can see the future. A lot of it comes from the left wing from Mudryk, there's going to be a lot of fullbacks on the opposition that are going to be in trouble this season, because he just creates that moments of panic on the opposition's defence. He's quick, he's direct, he's also got the feet, and he can play a pass, and he plays the pass early as well. So I'm happy with the result, well, not the result per se, but the performance and what I see from Chelsea going forward.
You mentioned Cesar Azpilicueta. It would be remiss of me not to talk about him a little bit, Pat, because he is one of the greatest players to wear Chelsea blue. He's been fantastic since he's joined the club. He leads the club by example on and off the pitch. He's a fantastic leader. He's a fantastic captain. And to make 500 appearances for one of the best football clubs in the world is a phenomenal achievement.
Yeah, very few in the history of our club have actually made 500 appearances. But to do it while the club is at the level it's at, can add something else, adds quite a lot more on top of it. I mean, Azpilicueta, a lot of people saw him as a steady Eddie originally, and he's been so much more than that for us today. And that moment was the lovely, lovely moment when he chested that ball back, because everyone was panicking in that stadium except one geezer who's decided, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to chest it back. And it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy, we know that. He's just a lovely person as well. I don't know if I'm right, but I think I might be right. The only player from out with the shores ever get to 500 appearances from us. So that's something special. He's broken a lot of records. He's broken the hearts of a lot of defenders, attackers in the time. But he also has shown a lot of other people how to defend. He's got this one technical thing that he does, which I remember doing an analysis on. He gets so low, and as a winger playing against a defender, very few of them go so low. It's really crouched, really low, so he can move quickly either side, and he's never stopped doing that. Any youngster trying to learn how to play that position, look at him.
He's fantastic, and I always use this this example, Quaker, when I'm talking about Cesar Azpilicueta, because I think it's probably the perfect thing to realise how important he is to this football club and as a person, not just a football player. But during lockdown, when everyone was struggling a little bit and players were at home, and it's the first time that a lot of football players that had moved to this country were trying to acclimatise to a new city, and it was difficult for a lot of people. He, as captain, made sure that he was checking in on every single player. He was speaking to people in the community. He was doing Zoom calls with fans. He was doing a lot for the football club in and around it. And he takes that responsibility of being the leader and being the captain so much onto his everyday life. And this is, like Pat said, this is a person that he wouldn't have grown up being a Chelsea fan, but he is every bit a Chelsea fan as any of us are. And especially as a fan myself, to have someone who loves representing the football club, captain the football club, and do it to such a prestigious level, continuously, season after season. 10 or so years he's been here, averaging 50-odd games a season or whatever that is. Phenomenal achievement, and just an incredible, incredible person to represent this club.
Well, the term proper Chelsea gets thrown about. He is proper Chelsea. And interesting era that he came in. He joined in 2012 off the back of us winning the Champions League and bridged the gap between that Lampard, Terry, Drogba era. I know that those guys had a couple more years afterwards, but that was the end of that era after we won the Champions League in 2012, and really carried us through and won every trophy there is to win in club football at Chelsea. And this is a player that we didn't expect the biggest things from. He's kind of just gone about it under the radar, and he's one of our... I was saying to you during the break that he's one of my favourite Chelsea players ever, behind Gianfranco Zola. He means everything to Chelsea, and we're going to miss him when he's gone. We've got to appreciate him whilst he's here. And just on the football pitch as well, the way that he defends, I remember having conversations in 2014-15 season about him being the best one-on-one defender in the Premier League. That's almost 10 years ago, and he's still playing for Chelsea at a high level. He's a credit to the club. Completely.
Left back, centre back, right back, does it all, Pat. And again, someone like Mykhailo Mudryk, who's coming into the team, he's going to be improved because he's got to go up against him every single day in training.
Yeah. In fact, that's a big thing about you as a player. What I used to try and do in training was always play against the best player. You actually may be struggling a bit like that in Chelsea because there's a hell of a lot of them, but you may put yourself against the best because you must test yourself against the very, very best. And in training, there's very few players that are easy to get by, but if you look at Thiago Silva, if you're a forward, you think, well, I need to get by Thiago Silva, I need to get by Aspe. It's one of those things, we were having a chat before, some players, it was kind of easy to get by them, it was just effortless in a way, but players like him, he's not going to switch off. He'll not switch off in the game, but he won't switch off in training either because he's such a perfect pro. So yeah, you will learn from working with him, but as much as that, you will learn the right type of professional to be. There's something going on at this football club. We've got a lot of young players coming in. I mean, a lot, as many as I've ever seen. And that old phrase, you don't win anything with kids, right? Kids gonna grow up, right? But you've all come in together. Now, they're all good technical players, but there's something else on top of that. You need to know how to be good professionals as well. So you can't wipe everything else away. You have to learn from the best professionals. And if you're looking along that back line and you're seeing Aspe and you're seeing Thiago Silva, God, you're going to learn well for the best pros, because that side of it is going to be as important as anything else for these kids going forward.
Oh, absolutely right. I love hearing this.
Yeah,
I genuinely do. Still quite a lot of football coming up next week. Despite Chelsea men's first team having a break, there's still plenty of things for you to get stuck into on the fifth stand-up. You can have a little look at what's coming up for us now. Oh, we'll tell you in a second anyway. Essentially, PO2 on Friday, you can see Chelsea versus West Ham, which will be an interesting game. Maybe one or two players that we've seen over the last couple of weeks get their opportunity in the first team. Lewis Hall, obviously, still eligible. We've seen Cesare Casadei and maybe one or two of the new lads that have joined over the last few weeks are eligible to play in that one. That's 6:55 on Friday evening. Next Saturday, the Under-18s Premier League, Chelsea versus Spurs. That means a lot, Quaker. It always means a lot, Chelsea versus Spurs, doesn't it? Any age level, anything, you will learn from a very early age. Chelsea versus Spurs is a big one. How do you feel now, sat here? It's a good point away at Anfield. We've got a little bit of a break now with the first team until Fulham. A little bit of time to comprehend everything. What's your overriding emotion?
So, heading into this game, I know it's going to be difficult for us to finish the top four. Let's be completely honest. Things are going to have to go away. We're going to have to go on a run. What I want to see between now and the end of the season is good passages of play, good patterns. And I'm starting to see that. We saw this in the second half, especially where Munich came on and things were a bit quicker. Players were a bit more emboldened to play that riskier pass. We saw Hakim Ziyech have maybe his best game of the season as a result of everything around him just being a bit more cohesive. So that's what I'm looking forward to seeing for the rest of the season. And we'll finish up where we finish up. Hopefully we can go on and run and push for those top four places. But if not, I want to see good patterns of play, and I think that's what Graham Potter's instilled in Chelsea.
Absolutely right, absolutely right. Don't forget Chelsea-Liverpool tomorrow afternoon as well in the WSL. And next Sunday you can watch the FA Cup, Women's FA Cup. We'll have live commentary of that on the fifth stand at 12:55. You can watch that one as well. Pat, one word then to sum up this afternoon, mate.
Hopeful.
Hopeful. Yeah, nice, Kwaku.
Promising.
Promising, I like that. Good words. Boys, fantastic as usual. Finished goalless at Anfield, but plenty to take away from there. Not just a Premier League point. We'll see you in a few weeks. Make sure you stick around. Plenty more coming up on the fifth stand-up over the next couple of days. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.